Hi, welcome. It's Tammy here, Ward 4 City Councilor. Thank you so much to our people that are here. Please tell your friends next time. It's awesome. But yeah, we're here to have a town hall, and the fact is that we're also online and streaming. So I think Jack just walked away. I don't know where. Are we okay? Oh, okay. Apparently we're good to go. I'm a little bit sick, so I'm really sorry, but I do have a mask on. I do have a lav mic just so that the people online can see. Yes, we're good. Jack says it's great, so let's get on with the show here. Artistic director tells me I'm not allowed to move past this chair, so sorry everybody. But if Mike and Catherine, as you know, don't move past the chair because otherwise artistic director is going to get mad at us. So anyway, thank you so much. So let's move to the agenda very quickly. We want to talk to Housing Help Center, so thank you, Catherine French, for being here, as well as our tenant support. Come on in. Welcome. Come on in. Welcome to more people. That's awesome. We also have Mike here from the tenant support section from the City of Hamilton, and the intention of today's was that learning aspect of some of the different housing supports that we have here. Then we'll definitely go into what's happening at council, what are some of the things that are happening that you guys might want to know about, and that's also the time to ask questions, and then what matters to you, what's on your mind. And then we hope to get out of here by 8 or before 8. So thank you again so much for being here. Just to do the quick land acknowledgement, the City of Hamilton is situated upon the traditional territories of the Erie, Neutral, Huron-Wendat, Haudenosaunee, and Mississaugas. This land is covered by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Belt Covenant, which is an agreement between the Haudenosaunee and Anishinaabe to share and care for the resources around the Great Lakes. We further acknowledge that this land is covered by the Between the Lakes Purchase 1792 between the Crown and the Mississaugas with the Credit First Nation. Today, the City of Hamilton is home to many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island, and we recognize that we must do more to learn about the rich history and land so that we can better understand our roles as residents, neighbors, partners, and caretakers. And we're just fresh off of September 30th, Truth and Reconciliation. I know that I've been doing a lot of reflecting to try and think through how I can be a better steward and better partner and ally to Indigenous nations and First Nations. But come on in. Good to see you. And I'm sorry for people online when you hear me coughing. Just really sorry about that. But let's move on. Pictures. There's Jack. There's Pascal. This is the Ward 4 team, so we're all here. So let's go on to affordability for tenants. Here I am super excited to introduce Catherine and Mike. So I think we're going to start with Catherine, right? So Catherine, the slides are already queued up for you. You press the down button. We're going to put a mic on you. So we're going to put a mic on you. And then that way, you'll just have to talk. And I'm pretty sure everybody's okay without the microphone and speakers. Are we still okay for no microphone and speakers? Okay, great. So yeah, anytime you're ready, Catherine. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Right here, between the chairs. All righty. Perfect. So hi, everyone. My name is Catherine French. I'm a housing worker with the Hamilton Housing Help Center. We're a private nonprofit in the area, and I'm here to talk to you about some of our financial supports and some of the ways that we can help with affordability in the community. I'm also a Ward 4 resident myself. I grew up here. This is my home. I played hockey at this arena actually once upon a time, long time ago. So I'm very excited to be here. So I'll just give a little bit of a brief introduction about who we are for anyone who hasn't heard of the Housing Help Center. We're a private nonprofit in the area, and our overall goals are we believe that everyone has a right to safe, secure, affordable, and permanent housing. So we, within the coordinated access and housing and homelessness services within Hamilton, we work on eviction prevention and housing sustainability. That's our kind of role. There's a lot of different services with a lot of different kind of niches, and that one is ours. So we are the nonprofit, and we work on stabilization and eviction prevention, like I mentioned. I'm going to focus specifically on the financial aspect of our programs today. But some of the other stuff that we do, we can help find and maintain housing for people in the community, help people access subsidized supports and get on the access to housing and subsidized housing wait list, helping people understand their tenant rights, helping with landlord engagement and tenant engagement and helping mediate those concerns, and helping to prevent evictions, which has, there's a lot of potentials for eviction, and we can help with a lot of different, a lot of those, which includes the financial, which is what I'm going to focus on. So the primary role of our agency is we are a resource center. We don't own or operate any housing, but we provide resources for the community, for Hamiltonians, and trying to make housing a little bit easier for those folks that need it. So what I'm specifically going to talk about, these are the 4 different supports that I'm going to discuss. The Housing Emergency Fund, or the HEF program, if you hear me mention that. That one is our biggest funding program. I'm going to talk about it first. That one is a municipally funded program. And then the Low Income Energy Assistance Program, or the LEAP program, that one's funded by Electra and the OEB. And then the Ontario Electricity Support Program, OESP program, it's a monthly hydro credit. And then our agency's HELP loan, which is our specific program, which helps seniors with the purchase of a bed. So I'm going to go through a few different things of each of these programs, a little bit of eligibility criteria, a little bit of where to access them, what they are, and who is eligible for them from a financial standpoint. So to get started, the Housing Emergency Fund is our biggest program that we administer. It is a City of Hamilton program, so this comes from the city. We do the administration for the eligibility criteria and for the financial administration and the direct payments and whatnot. It's a program that's goal is to help people maintain their housing. I know I'm very much preaching to the choir about how housing affordability has become very difficult these days. So this program focuses on helping people maintain their rentals and their arrears for utilities and help make it a little bit easier for people that are struggling a little bit in the community. So the Housing Emergency Fund is an emergency benefit that's available to qualifying households within a 24-month period. So what that means is that there's a maximum that you can access within 24 months. You can't go beyond that. But after that 24 months, it does then reset and go and start again. That, of course, is the information that we have right now. These programs are subject to change depending on the needs of the community. They're approved at the city. We recently had a big change last year that focused on, changed it from a previous program to the Housing Emergency Fund benefit, or Housing Emergency Fund from the Housing Stability Benefit, and it's focused a lot more on the specifics of housing and making sure that people have access to help if they're having difficulty with their mortgage or with their rent or with their arrears. It is a Hamilton program, so it's only available for Hamilton residents who are living and moving within the community. So where to access support, the Housing Help Center, we are one of a couple of different agencies that administer this program. It's split up a little bit by income source. So our office works with anybody who is on ODSP as their source of income or any low income clients. So any income source that's outside of social assistance, WSIB, employment income, employment insurance, pension, CPP, OAS, pretty much any type of income we can help with outside of Ontario Works. They're dealt with at the Housing Services Division, so OW clients can access directly through there. And the city also works directly with ODSP clients who are living in shelter through the caseworkers there. For culturally informed services for our Indigenous community members, the Hamilton Regional Indian Center administers the benefit, so they have access there regardless of income source. And one of the really good changes that happened last year is that the applications can now be completed online via the city's website and submitted where it needs to go. Same application online at the same spot, which is really, really functional. It's really helpful. So this is a little bit of a breakdown. I'm sorry, the numbers are a little bit small, but all of this is available on the city's website as well, if you look up the Housing Emergency Fund. So we work within the Statistics Canada 2022 low income measure. So you'll see for a one person household, this is the net income also after taxes. This is not gross. 30,255 is the maximum that puts somebody under that low income measure. And it does change based on the household size as well. It goes up depending on how many people are in your household. And this is available, like I said, on the city's website. So, I'm going past my chair.
Artistic director might get mad.
Sorry, I'm on it. It's okay. So for a single person, like I said earlier, there is that maximum benefit that you can receive within a 24-month period. So for a single person household, that maximum is 3,000, and it goes up to 7,000 for a 5+ person household. Again, this is based on net income, and it's based on the household size of the person that is applying, the main applicant. All of these payments and everything that we do go directly to either the housing provider or the vendor, depending on what the money is going towards. I'll give a little bit more information in a second about exactly what it can cover and how we can do it, but that is the breakdown. And again, I know the numbers are really tiny when you put them up like this, but they are available. All of it's on the city's website on the same page as the application for anybody that needs it. So for what it covers, rent or mortgage arrears. So if somebody has received an eviction notice for their rent, they're being evicted due to non-payment of arrears, and they don't have any other housing concerns. It's just the financial aspect that they need help with. In those instances, if they fit all the other criteria, we can help. Similar to mortgage arrears, which is something that was added when the Housing Emergency Fund was changed. Again, a really great thing available for the community. We see a lot of people who are on fixed income, seniors, people on social assistance that have mortgages and are having difficulty paying them because the cost of living is going up and everything is getting just a little bit more unaffordable every day. So this is something that can directly benefit if someone is in a situation where they're going to lose their housing. The Housing Emergency Fund can potentially assist with some financial resources towards that. Utility arrears as well, if someone is at risk of losing their utilities, getting them disconnected, and it covers hydro, gas, water, sewage. We've done hot water heaters, propane, a whole wide range of utilities. If you are at risk of losing them, or if you know somebody that is, Housing Emergency Fund might be able to help out with that as well. You have to have received a disconnection notice that can help keep the lights on. We are almost at the disconnection ban period, which is very positive, November 15th. That one's coming up for your hydro. But this, for the Housing Emergency Fund, is what we can cover as well. The only thing that's not eligible for everybody, last month's rent assistance is something that it can cover as well, but you have to be a recipient of Ontario Works or ODSP in order to qualify for this benefit. And like I said, ODSP clients would come to us, and then OW clients would go to the Housing Services Division. But that is something that can help someone when you're on a fixed income like that, and one-bedroom apartment is about $1,400, and the average ODSP check is about $1,400. Very, very difficult to save up for last month's rent when you're struggling to get by. So it's something that this program can assist with. With regards to eligibility criteria, there are a couple of different ones. The sustainability criteria that's listed here, your accommodation costs can't be more than 95% of your income. The goal of this funding is to help someone maintain long-term housing, and we try our best to not put anybody in a situation or put funding towards a situation that they wouldn't be able to maintain long-term. It's intended to make sure that someone is sustainable and they're housed for a significant amount of time, and it's helping them as opposed to putting them in an unaffordable situation. So we make sure that accommodation costs are affordable for the individuals that are applying with us. You do have to be within the geographic boundaries of Hamilton. Like I said earlier, it is a Hamilton-funded resource, so it's eligible for Hamiltonians. The only instance in which this wouldn't be applicable is if somebody is fleeing domestic violence and are looking for safety outside of the city. If your situation falls within the categories for the program, we can apply, but it cannot go beyond those listed coverage. We get a lot of questions about, basic household items, pots and pans and furniture and things. Unfortunately, it's very specific to housing concerns and focusing on housing sustainability. We can't provide funding for anything that is outside of the bounds of the program. So for the application, like I mentioned earlier, it's all available on the city's website, but if somebody has an accessibility concern or doesn't have access to the technology, we do see that a lot with our client population. They are able to access our center directly. We can do an intake form, we can help do the electronic application for you, and we can do it all either electronically through our email system, or we can do it in person at our office during a drop-in appointment. Any of our appointments are available during our office hours. People just have to pop by with their documents. We can assess, we can answer any questions. If you're not sure, or if you want to refer anybody, our phones are going the entire time that we're open, so you're welcome to give us a call if you have any questions, or message our FSP email for our financial support program at the Housing Help Center. If anyone wants, I have some cards as well here that I can hand out or leave for you, but it's all available on our website as well. So the Low Income Energy Assistance Program, this is I would say, our second biggest program. This one is funded by Electra, and it's mandated by the Ontario Energy Board. It helps specifically with electricity arrears. The LEAP program as a whole can help with hydro and gas. Gas arrears go through a different agency called Simcoe United Way. They help with this program for gas arrears and gas disconnections in this area. But we handle the LEAP program for hydro below the mountain. So this ward would go through our office, for example. You can get a credit of up to $650 for natural gas, other fuel types like radiant heat or a boiler system, and then $780 for electric heating, because electric tends to be a lot higher cost in the winter time and tends to make bills go up. So this, to qualify, you have to have received a collection or a disconnection notice. With HEF, it has to be disconnection. This one, you can go at a collections level. Electric considers that an early intervention for disconnection. This funding used to be only eligible or only available for a couple of weeks, and we get a little bit and then it would be gone. Electra in the last couple of years has actually over doubled what we used to receive as funding for the community, and we now get it from January to December. It used to be only a couple of months. We'd use it until it was gone. They've put a lot of money where their mouth is, pretty much, for this program and for their help within the community, so we're very fortunate for that, to have that accessible for us. Like I said, for this ward, for anyone else down the mountain, we are the agency that offers this program and does the administration. If you know anybody up the mountain that needs assistance, they go through the Neighbor to Neighbor Center. Same program, same funding and whatnot, just through a different agency based on your geographical area. OESP program is my favorite one to explain to people because it is the easiest to apply for and it is the easiest to get. It is a monthly credit that goes automatically on your bill if you are eligible for it, and the low income measure for this one is significantly higher than the Stats Canada 2022 one that I showed you earlier. I've got the breakdown on the next slide for you as well, but it is a monthly credit to help reduce electricity bills. For qualifying households, you can get up to, or starting at $45 for just a basic one-person household. Every single month it comes automatically off your electricity bill. You don't have to think about it. It's just listed in your charges as a credit, and it's eligible for 2 years until you have to reapply. Goes off of your taxes. If you have done your taxes and you're under the low-income measure, you can apply entirely online yourself using the OEB website. Super easy. Or our office is an intake agency where we can do manual intake verification, manual income verification for your application as well. So there's a couple different options. If anyone is on Ontario Works or ODSP, you are also able to go directly through your caseworker, which is great. Just using your bill, they can apply right away. It takes about 2 weeks that way. It's the fastest if you can. And it is the best possible program that you can get. I tell everybody that I meet to get it, every client that comes in for any type of application, because it is the simplest way to save money every month and just to put a little bit extra change in your pocket. So you do have to be under the low income measure and you have to resubmit it every 2 years. But other than that, I'll show you, this is, sorry again about the teeny numbers, but yeah, so 38,000 or less is the one-person household maximum. So for the regular stats 2022, it's only about 30. So this is significantly higher as a low income measure. So people that might not qualify for the other one or for other low income programs might qualify for this. And it doesn't hurt to go on and see your eligibility online. You can do everything via the OEB's website. It's a fantastic program. And the monthly credit amounts differ based on household level. And you see the one on the right-hand side there is for electric heating. It's also for individuals who have medical devices in the home or who are Indigenous as well. So it depends on your household breakdown and the information you provide for the application. But it is very, very easy. If you have any questions or anything, or if you want to do the application, you can come down to our office and we can do it in person with you as well. So the help loan is the only one of these programs that is funded directly by our office. It is donation based. We changed it recently as we had a lot of inquiries about furniture and household goods and things because affordability has become such a concern. And we noticed that one of the things that we had a lot of questions about were seniors were applying for looking for help with beds. There was funding previously in other years and at other agencies for this, and just due to costs, that was cut. So we changed our help loan to help seniors over the age of 60 with the purchase of a bed. It is a partial loan, but it is a partial grant as well. So it's a $300 loan followed by up to a $300 grant. $600 is the maximum that we can help with, and $300 is the maximum of it that is a grant. It is interest free and it is paid back at $25 per month. Takes, I believe it's about a year for the $300 to be paid back, same time every month. You just have to be over the age of 60, be under that low income measure. We use the same one that the city uses for the Housing Emergency Fund, that Stats Canada 2022. You have to be a resident of Hamilton, and you can't have used a previous help loan and not paid it back. That's pretty much it. But yeah, no interest, and we've seen a lot of interest in this program due to rising costs and unaffordability. Seniors are a lot of the inquiries that we get are from people who are older adults that are looking for extra supports. So this is what we have allocated this funding towards. Okay, I think I speak very quickly, so my boss has told me I talk too fast. So if anybody has any questions.
Thank you, Catherine.
Of course, yeah.
Any questions for Catherine at all? Look at how succinct and fulsome you are. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Catherine. Up now we have Mike Jones, who's with our tenant. Are you clicking the thing? You're clicking the thing. So just click on your. There we go. May I?
Yeah, please.
Okay. There we go. Fantastic. Down button advances the slides. So thanks, Mike. On to you.
Right, Chair. Yeah. I'll try to be as succinct as promises. Yeah, thank you all for coming. My name is Mike Jones. I'm the manager of tenant support at the City of Hamilton in the Housing Services Division. That was great, Catherine. Thank you. You went off a lot of ground that I'm not going to have to cover, so I really appreciate it. Yeah, I thought I would just start with a bit of context around kind of what housing looks like today in Hamilton, and I think a lot of you will probably know this offhand or experience it as well, but cost of housing is really high, whether that's rental, ownership, whatever you're looking at. We had quite a spike after COVID. It seems to have plateaued a little bit, but that still leaves it very high and not seemingly coming down at any point. We're also seeing inflation and other rising costs of materials, and with that said, Ontario Works rates haven't exactly followed suit. And so one of the things that is a bit of a challenge is trying to kind of scale what a single on Ontario Works receives, which is something like $750 a month, into housing, which, as you can imagine, is really difficult when
You want us to switch?
Oh, is it? Might be me.
Oh, that might be why, because I have my mic on. That might be why.
I have turned it off.
Good. All right. Yeah, and so so with Ontario Works rates, what they are, I think it's really difficult.
Okay, Pascal. Okay.
And so yeah, basically, it's difficult to kind of get into housing. I think I saw something in the spec today that said that I think it's like almost $30 an hour that someone would have to make to afford a one-bedroom in Hamilton these days. So dovetailing into minimum wage being insufficient as well, I think it's another indicator that housing is accelerated beyond the cost of or beyond the income of most folks on minimum wage or social assistance. And so what that results in, I think, and I think most of you get this, is just that, most people are living paycheck to paycheck who fall into these buckets. And so what our program's aimed at is trying to intervene to provide supports that are effective and getting to people when they need them. And so I figured I'd put this last bit, I'll segue into our programs, but I put this last bit because I think it's really useful. If you are in a position where your landlord has, your renter and your landlord has told you that, you might be evicted for one reason or another, you should not leave your unit right away. You should stay in your unit. The landlord has to pursue due course through, or due process through the landlord tenant board. And so you'll receive formal eviction notices. So until you ever get down the road to that point, please don't leave your unit. Wait in your unit for legal support and other supports that are available. So yeah, our program's tenant support program. For all the reasons I mentioned, it was something that council supported a bit over a year ago, and going back before that. But this is really just a formalization of a lot of different supports that existed. And so we work with 3 funded partners, Acorn, Hamilton Community Legal Clinic, and then Catherine's organization, Housing Help Center of Hamilton and area. And so I'll talk a bit about what each of our partners do on our behalf in the community. And so Acorn, they're our outreach and educational organization. So they go out to, so they're really boots on the ground and are getting a sense of what's happening in the community. They have a ton of contacts. And so if they get wind that, like a building is facing a series of evictions, they'll go out and door knock at that building and kind of make connections with tenants who are living there. And I think with the intent of providing them some education around, you can stay in your unit. This is what the process looks like. These are your rights as a tenant. These are your responsibilities as a tenant sometimes. And they have a lot of ability to refer to supports throughout the community. So I think last year they were able to reach something like 3,500 folks in the community, which is quite a bit. We also work with the Hamilton Community Legal Clinic. And so all leases are regulated under the Residential Tenancies Act. And so the staff lawyers at Hamilton Community Legal Clinic are experts in the Residential Tenancies Act and the Landlord Tenant Board. And so if Acorn is noticing something out in the community and tenants are experiencing a potential eviction, or we get wind of it at the city side, we look to our partners to provide legal advice and support to those tenants. It actually can include also going to the LTB with the tenant themselves, but they provide all sorts of different support in interpreting the Residential Tenancies Act. So these are all just jargon here, but basically I'll go through the N13. N12 is really landlords who want to take a unit for personal use, which is their right, but there are some conditions that need to be met to make sure that's done appropriately. And so the legal clinic supports that. And then AGIs are above guideline increases. So let's say a landlord has made a series of repairs to a building. They can claim those repairs through the landlord tenant board, and it might result in a rate increase of, let's say, $15 a month for tenants moving forward. But to ensure that's done appropriately and meeting the conditions of the Residential Tenancies Act, that's how the legal clinic kind of gets involved to support tenants. And then Housing Help Center of Hamilton area, so they do a lot of tenant and landlord education in the community, a lot of workshops, connecting potential folks who are losing their housing to new housing and new rentals. The right of first refusal, I'll talk about it in a second because there's a new bylaw in Hamilton relating to that, so I'll explain that a little bit. But they also provide assistance finding housing and some kind of light case management with tenants as well. And so the first right of refusal is related to the N13 process, which is when a landlord wants to do elective repairs to a unit. It may result in the tenant needing to leave the unit for the repairs to get, or renovations to get completed. And so the tenant, through the Residential Tenancies Act, has a right to return to that unit once all the repairs and renovations are completed. And so because that process doesn't always, it requires a lot of follow-up and assistance, and the city established a bylaw on January 1st this year to kind of enshrine some of those measures and ensure that both landlords and tenants were attesting to what was happening in the unit. And so we've created an interim tenant rights and entitlements package that you can find online, or If we send this out, you can click there and it'll send you there. We have another tenant guide coming for the broader city that we'll send out, and I can share that too. All that to say that Catherine and her team help tenants to return to their units. So making sure that everything's followed correctly and that the tenants are supported through this process. We also on the city side have a tenant support at hamilton.ca email. I think we got it up and running like, let's say November last year. I think we've had about 200 unique tenants who've reached out. And so we have a staff that triages every email that comes through, and I'd say within 48 hours or less. And they're really, really knowledgeable about the entire kind of city, the services available in the community. So they do a really nice job of taking any sort of issue that a tenant's experiencing and triaging it quickly, making some referrals, some warm handoffs. So if you're ever in the position where you're kind of lost, I feel like something's up, I don't really know where to go, this would be a really good place. And then from there, we can kind of work through what the supports that are available. And then we do a lot of tracking and reporting, also to try and get ahead of whatever the next kind of issues are in the community so that we have a sense of where our programs need to adapt to over time to actually address the issues we're seeing. And then I won't go over a lot of it, but because Catherine did a great job, but we also administer the Housing Emergency Fund to the partners Catherine laid out very nicely. I'll just give a bit of background on the kind of admin side. So we supported in about the last year, so we supported about 2,100 households, which works out to about 4,400 people, which includes dependents and couples of applicants. Most funding was used to clear rental arrears and support access to affordable housing with last month's rent. And yeah, like I mentioned at the outset, a lot of the folks were singles, single person households, given the constraints in the market and what we see. And I think about 54%, don't quote me, was folks on Ontario Works. So we're seeing what we unfortunately expect to see in the data is seen. But through some of these programs, we're hoping that we can kind of intervene at the right moments with either financial assistance through the programs we have, or also just supports and legal advice to prevent evictions from happening. So we're really kind of working towards the prevention side of things anywhere we can. And that's it. Thanks.
Questions for
Yeah.
Mike?
Mike or Catherine,
Yeah.
whichever one can answer it best. You talked about tracking and trending.
Well, we're gonna have to just play the question.
You talked about tracking and trending, like what's happening in the housing.
Mhm.
Is there anything that is trending right now? Like, what's the trend?
Broadly, you can go. Do you want me to go first? Yeah, sure. I can say in terms of
Is the tracking and trending of housing today?
yeah, I think we're seeing because of the introduction of the bylaw, we're seeing less rent evictions, if you want to use the colloquial term. We're seeing less of those than we saw in the past. We are seeing, I would say anecdotally at this point, more N12s, which are landlords wanting the unit for personal use. And so that creates a whole other set of challenges that we're seeing and trying to work through. I think at a market level, housing remains pretty unaffordable and nothing has changed all that much on that end, to be honest. I think we're still trying to find ways to intervene in the right moments, like including, do we need to pursue, like what we get sometimes is with that 95% threshold that Catherine alluded to, some folks can be $200 from a sustainable tenancy. So what do we have available for those folks to try and maintain their tenancy without, because it's better financially to keep them and morally to keep them in the unit. So yeah, not a ton is changing, but we're trying to adapt to what is out there and the reality of the housing market best we can.
Catherine, anything you wanted to add to that?
Come on, just right over there. Is my crackle though? Do you want to just?
Oh. Man, I'm so bad at this. Oh, there we go.
Take it off and hold it. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Mike. There has been a significant decline in the inquiries that we've been getting about N13s post bylaw introduction in January. But I would say N12s have definitely kind of maintained, and we've seen an increase in above guideline increases that are coming to fruition right now. I would say probably about the same time that landlords started with the giant wave of N13s that I would say it encouraged the new bylaw. Above guideline increases were also going to the landlord tenant board. So we're seeing those because they can take about 2 years sometimes plus in order to get a determination from the LTB. So I'm seeing a lot of people coming to us, and I mean, grain of salt because we do the financial assistance for it, but a lot of people looking for financial assistance for that burden of the lump sum cost that comes from the AGI. And then in addition, you now have an extra however much money on top of your rent that you were used to in that above guideline increase that they have to deal with every month. So kind of that trend of unaffordability and above guideline increases that are kind of tapering off, but still a bit more prevalent that I would say we've seen in previous years that I've been administering this program. So yeah, I would say touch and go of trying to see where our best efforts can be put.
Pascal has more questions. Pascal.
Well, I'm asking for myself. I live in Ward 4 too, right? So one of my questions is that I know a couple of people who aren't very computer savvy and also are maybe intimidated or don't feel like they deserve the help, or like I can just figure it out on my own kind of thing. Like, what would you say to encourage them? Because like I know like a couple of older men who are facing potential eviction, but trying to encourage them like we can do this, but they're like how.
So repeat the question of.
Yeah. I don't even know how to.
What about people that are tech savvy and they need
Yeah, people who don't understand computers and people who might feel some like
hesitation?
I don't
Okay,
need
yeah.
that help, but they totally need that help.
Yeah, so people that might be a little bit hesitant to access the programs due to even not feel tech savviness or not feeling like it's for them. We do see that a lot. It's not easy to access these services. It's not easy when you're having a difficult time to go down and ask for help from a financial office at all. I get that. I see it a lot. For a lot of the folks that we help, it's the first time that they are ever having to ask for help. They ran into a situation they didn't expect. The best advice that I would give for somebody in that situation is you don't have to be tech savvy. You can come down to the office or give us a call and we can help you out with it. I have taken clients' phones and helped them send emails to me before. It's not a problem. We have every accessibility option that you can think of. We can work with you no matter what, even if it's something that we haven't helped with before, we will try. And for anybody that might be hesitant to access it, it doesn't hurt to call and ask. You can just give our front desk a call, see if you'd be potentially eligible. They can give you a quick triage. It doesn't hurt to ask the question. And this funding is available for a reason. It's available. It's there to help you if you need it. It's better to ask for it than to not, in my opinion. And there is nobody at our office who is going to judge you for asking. We deal with a lot of people every day. I can guarantee that one of your neighbors has probably come and accessed our help and you just don't know it. So all of our processes are entirely confidential. We don't share any information unless absolutely necessary. And we can go directly through email if you don't want to see us in person either, for those that are a bit more tech savvy as well. So yeah.
They've paid for their own care.
Yeah.
In a way. Oh, they paid into their own care.
Yeah.
True.
That's a very good comment. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. The comment was, you have paid taxes your whole life, so you have paid into these programs and do not feel bad. I like that perspective.
One more question from Pascal, and then we got to move on.
We can like use a different name.
Pascal number 2.
What about people who might have hearing impairments or visual impairments? Like, how do you help them navigate through this?
Like, do you want to try?
Yeah, sure.
Answer, just repeat the question.
How do you manage folks that have hearing impairment and other needs, right? And visual and emotional needs? So we have supports through our office. So I believe we have a TYL line they can access. Yes, like
TTYL.
No, it's not that probably. I can't remember the name. I'm sorry. But if you reach out, I can send you that after. But we do have supports available for those folks to access services. And depending on what the need is, we can kind of work with them through our office. But yeah, it's not a problem.
All right. Thank you. Does Pascal number 3 have any more questions? Okay, all right. Thank you, guys. Can I get a round of applause for, I'm gonna give that to them. We'll turn it off. Thank you, guys. We have both Mike and Catherine here currently, but I also recognize that we have a fairly lengthy agenda. So if you guys wanted to take off a little bit early, we do have your contact information in the presentation. So, or if you guys want to try and talk to them now, because pretty much we're going into the Ward 4 update. So hopefully we're good right now. In terms of the Ward 4 update, yes, Pascal, art director? Okay, cool. Art director says I'm allowed to stand right here, exactly right here. So the Engage Hamilton website is fulsome right now. There's a lot going on, but in particular, the ones that we thought were most important to you, Ward 4 residents, was about the budget. And in this instance, this is opportunities to share with council what are some of your biggest concerns. In particular, the mayor has been putting out a lot of public consultation meetings to try and get more real-time information from the public about what everyone's interested in terms of what's in the budget. So from here, it's we do know that there's lots of questions on that Engage, but in particular, I think they seem to be skewed towards keeping taxes low, balanced approach, or increasing taxes. I'm pretty sure nobody says that, but anyway, the idea is really just to get a gauge from residents about what are some of the biggest big ticket issues that you're looking for, and how would you prioritize the budget. Next is looking at, yes, you kept this in. Okay, so this is something we've been trying to ask and work with from inception of us being in this office. Industrial pollution and commercial impacts of said industrial pollution on residents. And in particular, in Ward 4, we definitely have a lot of industrial and noise and those that impact our well-being and also our livelihoods and that sort of thing. So if you would like to weigh in, we would love for you guys to weigh in on something like this. QR code is here, but also here. But if you want to just talk to us about it, we're totally willing and able to listen to what you guys want to talk about. The next one is upcoming capital projects. Oh, this is a doozy. We got lots going on. Oh, you want me to just read them? Pascal's got like a lot going on. There's a lot here. So just quickly, there's an escarpment. The escarpment has a slope repair. That's coming. That's coming to, when is that again? I know I just got the notice for it. Yeah, but it's like around like the Kenilworth access between us and Ward 6. So that escarpment, that's getting a bit of a refacement and also some sort of like stabilization there. Brampton from Parkdale to Woodward and Brighton. So that little roadway is getting done. I don't know if you guys saw, but Kenilworth train crossing has finally been done. It's actually closed until tomorrow, but now we're pushing CN to talk about Ottawa and Parkdale. Woodward is CPKC, which is a totally different one. That's a totally different thing. Let me talk about CN. So the fact is we got Kenilworth going. We're now trying to get them to get Ottawa going and Parkdale. God, it's been 2.5, 3 years of just harassing CN about this. So I'm just thankful that they just did Kenilworth for now, but we're clearly pushing them to continue with the other crossings in Ward 4. We have several bridges that we have in terms of capital projects. So those are like the Kenilworth bridges that are coming down the Kenilworth escarpment. Those are going to be massive undertaking, but they're on the books. So we've been really looking at them because they've been, one, the underpass, there's no sidewalk. We've been trying to figure out how best to get more width but also pedestrian and bike access. There's a lot going on, Kenilworth traffic circle area. We're getting new water drinking fountain upgrades. So those ones will all have those like bottle fillers at the top and dog bowls at the bottom. Yay! So finally we're getting that. So we've been asking for that for a while now too. Roxborough Park, so just down the way over here. If you saw the new development, there's all of those townhouses that are going in, but that park on the backside of it is so sorely needed in terms of capital improvement. So we've been really asking to push for that too. So the Roxborough Park, that one is going to be really fun. We might want to do a town hall on that one because that one is, the designs currently are about an homage to its history, which actually used to be an airport. I know, right? So the idea is to give Roxborough Park like a bit of an airplane sort of theme. So it's pretty fun. We'll do that later, I think. Leaside Park, that's the one right down by the QEW, right at the edge of Parkview neighborhood. We're asking to put more redevelopment into that. Specifically, we're asking for more trees. That way we can have big, tall trees that might block some of the noise and the air pollution that might come from industry, from both QEW and from AIM. So we're asking to put more trees on the berm there. So we've been working really hard on that one. Traffic signal rehabilitation. Strathern and, I don't know these ones. So Pascal, Strathern and Britannia, Main and Parkdale.
They're upgrading the traffic signals.
Cool, thank you.
Part of this century.
So they're upgrading the traffic signal, so they're part of the century, is what Pascal just said. And then we have Pat Quinn Arena roof and rooftop mechanical. So hopefully next time we'll have a new roof at Pat Quinn Arena. Moving on, Main Street East. So this one you guys might have seen if you've driven around that whole area. It's pretty torn up and ripped up right now. That is for light rail enablement. They are pretty much moving a lot of the water mains and then moving them down to Main. But then on top of that, we're actually redeveloping the street. We're putting in multi-use pathways, ensuring that bicycle infrastructure is actually connected. So that's all part of that redevelopment at Strathern, Delana, Rosewood, that whole area around Pat Quinn Arena. In terms of what is exactly happening, they are installing a 1,200 millimeter, so 120 centimeter water main down Main Street from Delana to Rosewood. They're trying to put in a whole bunch of new local water mains and catch basins. It's a page and a half, guys, so I'll just keep on moving. If you guys want more information, I have the information right here. In terms of streets, we are actively trying to get a bunch of our streets repaved. And in terms of the state of good repair, there's approximately 102 million that we're investing in roads, sidewalks, water supplies. And in particular, this council in the last year has been improving 41 kilometers of roadway, and that includes the reconstruction of 11 bridges. Some of the 11 bridges are out in the rural sort of area, but you'll see that in Ward 4, we've been actively in the Homeside and Crown Point East area, as well as not Parkview. Where would you say that is? Like I was like Hope Harmony is Crown Point East. Oh, never mind. So we've got several in the books for 2026. So you'll see them next summer in terms of those road repairs. We've got more on the books. We're actively trying to get more onto the books as quickly as possible. In terms of updates, this is a public service. Pascal wanted us to know that there are e-updates. These e-updates will allow you to see everything from extreme weather events to recreation alerts, road closures, and that sort of thing. So we definitely try to mirror some of the messaging that comes out of the city of Hamilton. So you'll see it being mirrored on our social media. And anytime there is a Ward 4 specific, Jack, our executive producer, does a really great job branding it to make it look like it is Ward 4 announcements. But at the end of the day, what you're getting is both announcements from us, announcements from the city. We just try to mirror back to back to make sure everybody gets that same information. Development projects. These ones. Okay. In terms of building permits, Pascal actually printed off an entire list of building permits. So if you are really interested in seeing all of the building permits, in particular in Ward 4, this is from January to July. We had, January to August, July. We had 35 Ward 4 building permits, but citywide we had over 2,280 new units. So in Ward 4 in particular, now remember, building permits are everything from single family homes to large apartment buildings or commercial units or anything, which by the way, congratulations Chad on opening Fairly Frosted, yay! Everybody go visit his store, Fairly Frosted, delicious. There is also a building open house. We are looking, the city has identified a parking lot on Ottawa Street, but it's near Ottawa and Barton. It's 115 Campbell as an opportunity for housing. So on Saturday, October 25th, from 10 to 12, we'll be doing an open house to invite the public to come in and actually share with us what they think about that. The idea is that that parking lot is an underutilized, under-optimized parking lot. There's an opportunity to look at it from an affordable housing perspective. The city has identified it as surplus or will be identifying it as surplus, but this is where we want community to weigh in on that too. So that's Saturday, October 25th from 10 to 12. In terms of affordable and supportive housing, recently we've been delivering 178 affordable units. The ones that are most recent, and specifically in Ward 4, is 55 Queenston. That's the Queenston traffic circle. So you would have seen those two buildings go up. Those are 82 units of affordable housing. And also 1620 Main Street East, which is, 42 units, but I'm trying to remember 1620. Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry, my brain's a little bit mushy right now. So, and then what we have ongoing, so we have a lot right now, but in Ward 4, we actually have, I think it's the next one. Nope, not that one. Where did we say the Barton Street one? Oh, okay. So there's another one groundbreaking at Barton Street. So that's going to be 55 seniors housing from, oh, there's a slide for that. Okay. Anyway, Roxborough Park, there's a whole site plan with a lot of different townhouses coming up. There is an affordable housing home ownership program that we're rolling out with the Roxborough Park development team. So that's actually coming online as well. So the intention is for first-time home buyers that you can now get some of the charges, like the exemptions. I'm sorry, I don't have your ball. So yeah, like the idea is that there is an affordable housing home ownership program coming forward. It's a pretty incredible program. It does give you a significant amount off because they're waiving development charges, but that's a whole kit and caboodle of other things. 211 Melvin is coming online. It's 56 units. It's conditionally approved. It's going to be an interesting look on the street, but I think it might still end up being a beautiful building. So it's a brand new building. They're tearing down like what was a first floor sort of commercial convenience store. Yeah, and then they're putting in 56 units. So it's going to be interesting. It's also, the design is super interesting. It looks like a T. It looks like a T. So it's going to go up straight, and then in the back, it has like another back section. So then you can drive under it. It's kind of cool. It's interesting. Anyway, the Binding and Wellbeing Center is at 785 Britannia. That one went through design review, and honestly, it is a beautiful looking building. This one's going to be Indigenous, 60 units. There's also going to be a medical clinic, a daycare center. But then when we looked at it too, some of the amenity spaces for Indigenous and First Nations, they're gonna have sacred fire circles, and they also have a sweat lodge. It's going to be an amazing campus. So I'm super excited about. This is what I was talking about, 1362, 1374 Barton Street. If you drive by it, it is completely demolished. It is down to literally dirt. No, that's another one. That's in Ward 3. That's Ward 3. So you're right. No, we do care. We do care, but we just cheerlead all the Ward 4 ones first. So this one's done through Kiwanis. They're going to do 55 units for seniors housing. So I think that's going to be an amazing looking project as well. That one, they're literally going to break ground, I think 2 weeks from now. I've been invited. So at some point I will toss a shovel full of dirt somewhere. It's going to be fun. Next one, in terms of coming up, we have events at the Hamilton Seaman Technology Museum. Regard. There's lots going on. More. We have community events. So we're actually partnering up with our Ward 4 Hamilton Wentworth District School Board trustee on Wednesday to talk about Bill 33. Bill 33 is actually going to be, the idea is to remove the elected voice from your trustees. So it's a strange bill, doesn't make a lot of sense, takes away the ability for parents to actually speak on behalf of their children and students to the school board. It's not cool. Then we also have, but the fun thing about cool, the pipeline trail, we're unveiling it on October 22nd. So that's gonna be fun. So not so fun, extra fun. Not so fun, extra fun. So, but please come on out to both of them. Last bit is, if you are interested in talking a lot more about pollution, how we stand up and how do we continue to provide good health and well-being in our community, ArcelorMittal Dofasco does have a community liaison committee. Pascal sits on that, so if you're interested in learning more about what community members can do on something like that, talk to Pascal about it. Again, AMD has this one. Another one of Ward 4 businesses is Rain Carbon. Rain Carbon, they also have their own community liaison. Rain Carbon, they do all of the off stuff from the steel industry, and they take all of the sludge out of that steel making, and then they make other stuff with it. Big challenge is that, yes, it's great that you're taking sludge and making other things out of said sludge into something else, but there is off, I don't want to say benefits. Yes, with that sludge being made into other sludge, which equates to sometimes air pollution. The awesome thing about Rain Carbon, though, is that they are really trying to clean up their act. They have been really, really responsive. They have been really, really innovative. I'm actually super excited about what they can do with sludge to make it into not so awesome things. My hope is that they're going to make awesome things out of said sludge. So, but they're always interested in connecting with community and learning from community. So there's that. Rosedale has their own neighborhood meeting. Same with McQueston. So just wanted to share with you guys some of the different community groups that are in Ward 4. The Hamilton Regional Indian Center the Hamilton Regional Indian Center is hosting their Harvest Celebration Social, which is happening on October 23rd from 4 to 8. That's just down the street from, by down, I mean way down there on Melvin at the St. Nicholas Banquet Hall. If you're interested, you can always go to their Facebook page. And then the last bit is Thank you. Any questions? Yes.
That might sound like a weird question. For 3 years, I've been trying to get the lights fixed, like the parquet and the antenna. At night, they don't come on.
Oh,
The parquet is owned by the city.
Yep.
They call Parks and Rec, they say call the school board. When you call the school board, they say call the city. If you send a message into the mayor's office, it's like crickets. 3 light standards ever since the city rebuilt and redid the parquet there, none of them have worked.
okay.
So,
Okay.
how do you feel like
That I don't know. When you ask it that way, how do I change a light bulb at AM Cunningham Parquet? And it's been 3 years of you. Sorry? How many counselors does it take?
on your last slide, you had the neighborhood association?
Yep.
Crown Point used to have.
Yeah.
And we used to have those maps with Sphinx and Crown Point.
Yeah.
I think we used to be working on.
Yeah.
Before COVID, died on the vine.
Yeah.
There's nothing there anymore.
Yeah.
How do we get something back?
Do you want to start one up?
We've been trying to figure out what happened to them. Where did the process go? And now there's nothing there. So I think at one point, the city provided funding for the coordinator.
Yep. Yep. So,
Those ones independent?
yep, these ones are independent. The Rosedale and the McQuestion ones are independent. So McQuestion did start out as a neighborhood action strategy, which the city actually hired a facilitator to help get McQuestion set up. But then you're right, the minute that COVID hit, that kind of like died. So McQuestion still is run 100% volunteer. And so we go and attend, actually Pascal attends them. And occasionally when I get a chance to go, I will attend these ones when I have an opportunity to go. Most times meetings run late, and then other times my brain is mush. So it's, so we try really hard.
Something wrong in Crown Point, would you be able to use municipal facility if it's volunteer doing?
Well, so not usually, but you know what? Let's chat some more. I don't have any municipal facilities in Crown Point. That's the problem. So the problem with the library is that because technically it is done by the Hamilton Public Library, and they usually have to have, if you're there during their office hours or their business hours, then it's okay. But that's not a, technically, it's not technically a City of Hamilton facility. Yeah, but yeah, if you wanted to get one started, we could definitely chat some more. Jack, online.
No,
Oh,
answer the gentleman's question about the street light.
street light.
So, because I am literally dealing with an issue right now where I'm being ping-ponged
Oh,
between,
This isn't the street lighting, this is the lights that.
At the parquet.
In the parquet.
yeah, so that happens a lot where the city will say it's not mine, and then the maintenance, the district school board would say, well, it's not mine. So what I'm gonna do is, because I already have a meeting booked to talk to them about another school that they were ping-ponging me about, I will talk about this with Parquet as well, so then we'll get it solved.
I mean, the city spent a lot of money redoing the park, so the kids' playground stuff. But if it's after dark, you can still hear kids on the swings, and then you hear the hoops. And then the next thing you know is, here comes the ambulance, because they couldn't see what they were swinging in.
yeah.
Which has happened a couple of times.
So Jack's on it then.
Thank you.
Okay, all right. And a question from online.
Dog fountain at AM Cunningham, question mark?
Oh my gosh, is it from my sister? Is it my sister? My sister literally every day sends me a picture of the stubby, like the little green one, with her dog beside it.
At least we got rid of the rusty one.
Yeah, exactly. It's a brand new one, Gianni. So yeah. Yeah, so that's why we've got new drinking fountains coming. And like I said, it's going to be the bottle filler at the top, the dog fountain on the bottom, and it's supposed to be across the entire city. But I just don't know in terms of timing, because they're going to start winterizing everything starting after Thanksgiving. So likely they're getting ready for a big contract to go out for next year, I would think. Yes.
Can you talk about the other water fountains that we fixed
Yeah, so we found out that Glow Avenue had, the Glow Park fountain hadn't been working. So we ended up fast tracking to have the Glow Park fountain fixed. And we also found out that there was massive vandalizing at the Montgomery Park fountain. And again, that's something that we wanted to fast track because we all need access to water. But this works better if you're in the community and you notice that these things are broken or needs to be fixed, please let us know. So then that way we can get something going, right? So light a fire, try and get people. So, but in all honesty, I'm not out at every single fountain testing them. So if you can let us know if there's anything that needs to be fixed in terms of vandalizing, or if there's like graffiti or something like that, anything, just let us know. And then that way we can try and fast track it. Okay. Any other questions? Sure, of course.
This ties back to the question about the community. That used to be a way where you wanted to go to a small event, you could apply for funding.
Yep.
Does the board have stuff like that available? I've seen some councilors in the meetings having talking about it.
Yeah, so anytime we have any group that wants to do an event, they just have to contact us. We don't have a mechanism like Ward 2 or Ward 13 where they have like a community grants sort of application process. The fact is they have so many more requests that come through. They had to set up a system. We don't have as many. So just let us know, and then that's something that we can just kind of push through. Because we do that, we've done that for McQueston. McQueston did a barbecue, so we provided them a little bit of funds. Hamilton East Soccer Club wanted some. Pipeline, on the Pipeline Trail with the Red Tree Collective, they were looking at murals. So I think that anytime any community group is interested, please just reach out to us, and that's something that we can just help with. But yeah, Ward 2 gets crazy amounts, so they needed to implement a process. We're not there yet. So we're looking at everything on a one-off basis, but yep. All right. Thank you all for being here. Please eat the Roma pizza cookies. Hurley, definitely eat the cookies. I don't know if your dad will let you, but there's fruits and veggies too, right? So, okay. All right. Thank you all. Have a great rest of your night. Thank you. Thank you.